No One Knew the Burden, Chapter 34, by Dr. Judith Ogweno. The Burden Song.
No one knew the burden. No one, ooh. No one knew the burden. Then she cut it in half. Do you wanna know? Still wanna know. Are you curious? I'm curious to get to know. Listen to the narrative. I really wanna know how the story, how it's going. To get to know, listen to the narrative. Listen to the narrative.
United Designers Company's delegation, led by Dr. Finita Rael, was coming to check on the work their company was doing in Nairobi. Maximo was so glad to meet such a hardworking team and partner with them. He represented his team very well and got very many commendations. He was eventually interviewed by the many journalists who had accompanied the team. After the day's meeting, he retired to the Trent Hotel where he had been booked. He went, freshened himself up. At around 7:30 in the evening, Maximo left his room. Just outside his door, he bumped into someone. He apologized. When he looked at the face of the person, he turned as white as a ghost. "What is it?" the puzzled guest asked. "There's no problem, sir. I'm very sorry." Maximo returned to his room and took out his diary. Right in front of him laid a picture which was a duplicate of the person he had just bumped into. He came out of the room wondering where he would find that person. He reached the dining hall and saw the man seated beside a younger man. He was about to go to them when he changed his mind and sat a table away from them, showing them his back. Finally, he could not hold it any longer. He decided to join them. "Good evening, gentlemen. May I interrupt you briefly?" he inquired. "Yes, go on," said the older man. "Now, allow me to inquire." Looking at the older man, he asked, "Could you be Mr. Sakila?" "Yes, I am. Why do you ask?" Mr. Sakila responded, perturbed. Before he could stop himself, Maximo was fighting tears which were threatening to gouge out his eyes. The young man moved to his side and gave him a comforting touch on the shoulder. When the waves of tears had subsided, Maximo looked at the older man straight in the eye and told him, "You are my teacher in secondary school, precisely Form 2 and 3. I'm Maximo Ibera." "Oh, Maximo, I remember you. You are the boy who almost dropped out of school?" Mr. Sakila recalled, surprise visibly showing on his face. "Yes, sir, I almost did. You saved me," Maximo responded. "Oh, I did? How?" he inquired. "Yes, sir. One day I was brought to the office. I had beaten another boy. You told me the following: 'Young man, you are involved in some nefarious activities. However, I want to tell you the obvious. Those activities will not be recorded in your CV. In fact, I'm aware you blame your father for all your misfortunes, but I want you to know your father has lived this life. He will give an account to God. You too shall give an account for the opportunities you are wasting to better your life. My punishment to you will be this: go and write down how much you have contributed to your poor grades and how much the father you blame has done the same." "Sir, this was a grueling task, but it helped me face my reality," Maximo said in a serious tone. "That's very interesting. Don't remember you bringing me such a report?" "It's true, I never did. It took a month to write, and by the time we opened school, you had been transferred. As for me, that experience changed my life completely. The teacher and his two students talked for a very long time. It felt like a lifetime of catching up. Meanwhile, Richard had chosen to take a nap in his hotel room because he felt very exhausted from the hectic day. "Dad, is this my stepbrother?" Marlo asked him anxiously. "Yes, he is. Just sit down, I'll explain," father assured the shocked boy. Maximo and Marlo listened by night. Richard revisited his life on how he had abandoned his first family and what drove him to such a bad decision. He also talked about how he met Marlo's mother and the difficult life they had together. Maximo decided he was going to sleep and left the room. "All right, Dad, we shall fly to Mombasa for a short holiday tomorrow afternoon," Marlo told the father with excitement. "It will be great because I shall meet Joe," Richard said with nostalgia. "Joe? Who is that?" Marlo inquired from his stepdad. "Never mind, it's an old friend I've long to see." He could not wait for 2 o'clock. When the clock hit 1:55 in the afternoon, Richard was ready with his luggage. He was finally going to Mombasa. Marlo and Maximo joined him. By 4 in the evening, they were at Royeja Hotel. Exactly 7:30 in the evening, Maximo went to pick his mother and drove her to Royeja Hotel. She was very excited as she was being led to her seat. She sat down as Maximo excused himself shortly. When he returned, he was accompanied by 2 handsome men. Joanne recognized Richard instantly, and her mouth fell open. Richard's heart was beating with excitement, but he chose to keep quiet. "Maximo," he started. "It's all right, Mom, just have a seat," Maximo said. Maximo introduced his mother to Marlo, whom he referred to as his stepbrother. Joanne looked very excited to meet them. After a few minutes of gathering his courage, Richard opened his mouth to speak, and Joanne stood up and walked away. The trio were left in shock. Maximo decided to follow his mother. He found her outside the corridor weeping her heart out. She pleaded with him to take her home. After much convincing, he obliged, but asked for permission to explain to his father. He tried to use the best word possible to explain, but Richard comforted him that he knew what was going on. He understood. When Richard had set his eyes on his former wife, he could not believe it. She was adorable, beautiful in her unique African attire. He wished he could have talked to her and apologized, but after the happening, he knew he had a lot of work to do. So he took charge and told Maximo to escort the mother home. "Dad, I can't find Mom." Maximo ran back into the room. "What?" Marlo and Richard exclaimed as they came out to search for her. "Excuse me, sir, have you seen a woman dressed in a maroon African wear?" Richard asked a taxi driver who was standing by. The taxi driver said he had seen her. However, he had taken a taxi and left. The 3 men entered into Maximo's cars and drove to Joanne's home. She had not gone there. They decided to wait for her there as Maximo tried frantically to reach her on phone. After a while, Richard called his sons and took a hold of each of their hands. He made such a passionate prayer that by the time they were opening their eyes, all of them had tears. "Mom, when did you get here?" cried Maximo as he ran to hold his mother, who was standing by the door looking at them. "Juan, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to disrupt your life this way," said Richard. Before he could complete what he was saying, Joanne moved near him, looked at him for a while, and then took his hand and led him to a chair. It was his turn to be shocked. He fainted. It was 8 o'clock in the evening. Richard Ibera woke up with a start. "Oh no! It was a dream!" he cried out desperately. For more, join me next time. Remember, Jesus loves you.